Hello everyone, I'm Pratyush and you're watching PK Hub. Today I'm joined by Chase Friedman, who is a business brand coach who serves purpose driven leaders or entrepreneurs, freelancers to find balance of life and business. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Why this mission? Why do you want to help people have a sustainable balance between life and business? Was there anything that gave it away? What motivation is behind this?
Yeah, I mean, look, the mission is a result of my own experiences in my own life. It's something that I am building and pursuing in my life and business, and I believe it is a worthy endeavor. And I believe it's something that business owners and entrepreneurs often feel stuck. They feel overwhelmed. They feel they're kind of in this constant cycle of growth at all costs at the detriment of their own lives. I've certainly been there myself. And so, I've made it my purpose and my mission to help guide others in their journey where they can find that balance. They can do good and they can do well. They can profit with purpose. They are not mutually exclusive. So it's something that's been born out of my experiences and some struggles and obstacles that I've gone through in my life. And I believe it's important to pay that forward.
If you don't mind, can we dig up a bit about the struggle that you have faced, into your past, so that we get a little bit context on where you were before and how did you overcome those struggles, so that our listeners are benefited by your methods and what analogies that you have taken forward to achieve this sustainability.
Sure. I began in this industry, really in my business, with very little background in branding and design and marketing. I come from a filmmaking and storytelling background, but it was something that I was drawn to and led to, the ability of storytelling to, impact people's lives and behaviors and ideas and experiences. And it was something that brands need more and more of today, obviously. How do you resonate and how do you connect with customers and stakeholders on a deeper level? So, I kind of, as I like to say, a little bit of an accidental entrepreneur journey. I didn't really have, the formal experience. I didn't have the, mentor or formal training in it. I had to learn most of it on my own. It was kind of the school of the hard knocks. So I certainly took a path a little bit less traveled. I take pride in that, quite frankly. But there was many mistakes and challenges I made along the way. One of which was, when you're starting out in business early on, it's easy and you feel pressure to say yes to a lot of different things, a lot of different, clients and opportunities and work that may not be the right fit for you. And as they seem kind of incremental at the time, but as you continue to kind of make those decisions that are more led and driven by what your clients are demanding and needing, rather than what serves you and your purpose, that can quickly lead you astray and on a path that you didn't imagine you'd be on. So, after many years of running a building, a successful business and boutique agency, we were doing well on paper, but I was losing that joy and that fulfillment of why we were doing it and the work that we were doing. And so it really took me to a point where, an inflection point in my life and my career, where I had to decide, is this what I want to continue doing? And I knew that I did find joy in working with those types of purpose-driven people and organizations, those folks that really had a desire to make a greater impact in their world, in their communities, in their own teams, beyond the bottom line. So, it led me to a series of burnout and overwhelm and stress and anxiety. And I had to really reset for myself and understand, okay, well, what is my purpose? What is it that drives me? And arguably my purpose is helping others find theirs. I really do find, fulfillment and joy in helping other leaders and businesses and organizations do better for themselves and do better for their teams and the world and their community, so I get a bit of a proxy high out of that. That's kind of, been the evolution to date. And, I can say it's given me peace of mind. It's given me the ability to have success in business, but also fulfillment in my life.
Then we can safely call it an escape for you.
An escape?
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know if it's an escape so much as I think we tend to get caught up in this cycle, this pattern of behavior as business owners, constantly looking at the competition, the marketplace at large, certain trends, certain practices that we feel compelled to follow, that we feel compelled to replicate. But that ends up leaving us looking and sounding like everyone else out there. There's no differentiation.
Right.
So I think you need to be brave and be bold and be vulnerable enough to break free from that cycle and to really lean into what matters to you as a human being, as a leader, as an entrepreneur, and have ownership over that. And what I've seen in my realm and what I've seen with plenty of clients, and there's endless amounts of data to support this, is that when you do lean into that unique purpose, that differentiation, in the willingness to be a little bit disruptive from the status quo, that is something that will allow you to find your tribe, find those customers, those employees, those stakeholders that want to work with you, for you, buy from you. I think that's extremely important, is to not to try to be all things to all people, but to find your niche, lean into it, and the results are pretty outstanding.
I have a lot of questions going in my mind, all that you have said right now. We'll start to go one by one with that. But starting with, for everyone who is getting into a marketing agency or who wants to establish an agency, or is someone who is new to the niche and want to expand his or her experience in brand building and being a brand strategist and whatnot. So they always have to start from someone, right? There should be a first client, there should be a first gig that they have to crush, which leads them to having better referrals and having a good portfolio put together that just adds up to that. And I believe the first might seem easy, but might also feel a bit overwhelming at a certain point because it's the first, right? So how do you think one should find that balance between keeping the project aside for a few moments to take a sip of life, what is happening around, because we dive so deep into the project because we want to, or the customer, we want to, or the client, that we forget everything that is going around us and we dive deep, which, as you said, sometimes leads to burnout, for especially in the newcomers in the business. And I have seen it happening very often within my friend circle and me as well, that it's something that seems inescapable. You cannot get rid of that feeling very easily and you feel stuck. So what do you think should be done at that moment so that you are able to enjoy the life that you are living right then, and you're able to balance the project and the sides as well?
Yeah, look, it's a delicate balance. I think the first thing you need to ask yourself when you're getting into this industry or any job or building any business is why. Why are you doing this? What is your belief? What is your driving force? Not just because, hopefully, more than just I want to make a lot of money, but what is the why? What is the driving purpose behind why you do it? What do you love about it? What inspires you? What motivates you? And if you can connect with that, then when you are doing the work that is aligned with that purpose and is serving your clients at a higher level, that's getting you into a state of flow. And this state of flow, is really when you can not only do your best work, but have the most joy in doing it. It doesn't feel like work. When you're just kind of in this trance, when you're just kind of in this moment where you are immersed in it, you're loving it, it's exciting, it's filling you up, you're proud of it. That's something that I think any of us are willing to kind of work the extra hours and work late into the night because we love it. It fuels us, right? I think that's the difference between working hard and hustling and, going above and beyond with the work that you love and gives you passion and purpose, rather than the work that is taxing, that doesn't feel aligned, that you are doing it just because you feel you have to keep up and keep pace and do as much or if not more than your competitors. That stuff can be draining because then there's nothing fueling you. You're just doing it simply based on external factors. So look, I don't believe that growth should come at all costs. I believe that and this is for some people, they kind of proudly say, oh, I worked 80 hours a week, this week, or 90 hours a week, or something crazy, right? And I've done that. I've been there. I don't think that's necessarily healthy. I don't think that's sustainable. And I'd be curious to ask, what are you sacrificing in your life to do that, right? What other areas of your life are you sacrificing to work 80 hours a week? There's got to be something, because there's not enough time for much else other than work. Is it family? Is it relationships? Is it children? Is it travel? So you got to find the balance. But the great news is that you can have great success and you can be profitable and prolific in your work and be efficient by working less hours, by working intentionally. But you have to set boundaries for yourself and you have to set boundaries for your clients and respect those boundaries. Because very easy, like you just said, it's easy to kind of feel compelled and pressured to respond and deliver to every client demand at every point in time, or respond to your own internal pressure to succeed and hit those certain milestones and those certain goals. But you have to reflect that at what cost. So I think it's finding the balance between, yes, working hard is important and it's great. I think you have to find times for rest. I don't think anyone can be at their best or do their best work when they are burning at both ends all the time. You need to stop and take time to input and restore and learn. You're not going to have any time for that to grow as a person and as a practitioner if you're just constantly worried on the output.
So my podcast usually addresses these hustlers, these underdogs who are struggling in their life, or at least starting up with their careers and are overwhelmed with the responses how the business world is giving them. So in these lives of these individuals, they often have to go around with this, as you said, 80-90 hour work week, and they try to find ways on how they can decrease this time so that they don't work hard as much, but they work smart, right? And in one of my recent podcasts, I was discussing with a guy regarding this book called 4-Hour Work Week, where you get to do smart work, not hard work, and you build systems around it so that your works become easier with time, and you do not feel as much strain as you used to do back when you started your career, right? But as easy as it sounds, you want to get there eventually, but the path is not made of flowers and leaves. It's something that you have to go with hardships to find ways that make your work smoother or make your workflow smarter, right? And we came across this thesis that in order to make your work feel smart, you have to do multiple hard works so that you find ways on how you can convert into a smart work instead of hard work. So I believe in the starting period, you have to devote 10, 11 hours, or you have to hustle a lot so that you get to a stage where you can spend less hours doing the same task. In the start, it might feel tedious because you're learning things, you're doing something new that feels out of this world. But as you go in the journey, you go along and you go with the flow, you will feel that the walks are getting easier and the time is taken less, right? So these core belief of balancing, purpose but profiting at the same time, and we as a brand strategist, we talk about purpose a lot, right? How you want to derive your purpose, that sets you apart and sets your why. Purpose is all about that why, and you have that motivation or discipline to do something that you want to in the long period of your life. So that purpose is what drives us to do that 10-hour or 12-hour per day of work, eventually going to hit 80-90 hours of work per week. We always want to integrate such purpose into our operations and commit certain profit in the day-to-day lifestyle. So how do you derive that purpose, that why, into these creative individuals, so that they are aligned that the work that I'm doing at this particular time can be considered fruitful at a certain period of time? So is there anything that they can be sure that I am going in the right direction, that the purpose that I have defined for myself is something that I can trust on, rely on?
I think what you're getting at is, well, I think there's a couple questions, and I agree with you that you do need to put in the effort and the work and the sweat early and often to not only kind of build yourself and build your business and build your expertise before you can work smarter, right? You do have to kind of put in that hustle. You have to put in that effort. It's like sharpening the sword, right? You absolutely need to invest yourself and your time and your education in mastering your craft. That's essential. You can't fake the expertise that you are hoping to, be able to share with your clients or customers and expect them to pay a premium fee. You need to have a degree of mastery over that. And that does come with putting in the time and the hours, the 10,000 hours. I think it's more, as Malcolm Gladwell says. Yeah. And then in terms of making sure that you are maintaining that purpose in your work, I think it's really a series of checkpoints. Every decision you make needs to be reflecting on why. Why is this the right goal that I need to set for myself? Why is this an area that I need to grow in? Why is this a client that I should be working with or not working with, right? That's the thing with, creating this sort of driving, compelling purpose or mission statement. It should not ever be a static thing. It should not be a one and done thing. This has to live and breathe in every aspect of your business and be your North Star. I know it's a cliche, but it's true. I mean, you need to have this pinned up on your wall, or you look at it every single day, and it's a reminder and a reflection for you to kind of evaluate every business decision that you make against that purpose, against that hypothesis.
Thank you so much for listening to the end. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you found these tips actionable and helpful at the same time. I'll make sure to leave links of Chase down in the description or show notes for you to go and check it out. Give this video a like and subscribe for more. I'll catch you in the next one. But until then, take care.